live struggle legacy. It's a whole movement.
Hey everybody, it's your boy MP, Live Struggle Legacy, and welcome to the Live Struggle Legacy Podcast, Season 2. Now real quick, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. If you're following us on a streaming platform, make sure you hit that follow button, drop us a comment, hit that like button, drop us a review. Show us some love, y'all. Let us know what you think about the show. And if you want to promote your business, we'll get you on. We're looking for sponsors. All right. With no further ado, I got a very special guest in the house tonight. None other than Keto Frapwell, BTMVLE Jotta, a.k.a. Mr. Bottomville. I appreciate you coming on the show, bro. Yes, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you on the show like pretty much since we've been, you know what I mean, doing it. Mm-hmm. So real quick, I'm gonna have you tell your story, but I just want to introduce and tell the world how I know Jotta, right? So another previous guest on the episode, Luis Garcia. Shout out to Luis Garcia. So Luis and I were making music, and Luis got like super excited about this live struggle legacy movement. And I was telling him what I was doing with the music. I was telling him what I was doing, with the tribute to the homie Big Baby. God bless the dead. So we really connected. And at the time, Luis was kind of doing something similar with De La Nova Music, where he would just get people together, like-minded, and do shows, all different genres. He would do talent shows. He would do like these shows at these coffee bars and just network and bring people together to make music and to support one another, right? So in the process of us doing this, I was looking to get some t-shirts made, and he was like, man, he was like, you don't know keto? And I was like, no, I don't know keto. And he was like, man, you don't know keto? I'm like, no, bro, I don't know keto. He's like, man, you need to know keto. I'm like, okay, boy, the shit, show me keto. Like, so I remember when we pulled up to the spot, right,
yeah.
Where you
He's a persistent dude.
Yes, sir. So BTMVLE Studios, right? Mm-hmm. So he took me to BTMVLE Studios, and he introduced me, but right away I felt the vibe. Like I see you got the artwork all over the walls. I see you got the embroidery, the pressing. I see you got the mic, and just the vibe, man. Like right away when I walked in, I'm like, okay, this is what it is.
And like 2020, right?
Yeah, bro. This is right after COVID. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. That was damn near 5 years ago.
Yeah,
that's crazy because I feel like yesterday. But man, what I remember is y'all showed a lot of love, and I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I gotta give you your flowers because I'm looking at what you're doing, right, with BTMVLE Studios and the events that you've been doing, and it's like, man, I mean, I love what you're doing, and it inspired me, but like in a way, it made me like, I don't want to say envious, mm-hmm. But I'm looking at it like, what you did with the recording studio, the merch, like this whole one-stop shop. This was like a vision for me from when I was 17, bro. Like what I was trying to do with music and doing all these things, and then taking these dumbass shortcuts trying to fund this dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you end up taking the long way. You think you took the shortcut, you end up taking the long way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I ain't know, like when I see somebody doing something that they pulled it off and I didn't, I ain't no hater, bro. I'm gonna come celebrate you. I'm gonna come support you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, I just love what y'all are doing with BTMVLE Studios, with your networking events, your music events. I mean, it's always all love, and something that I really appreciated about all of y'all within your circle. When I was coming up, there was all this weird Tampa St. Pete shit. People like, oh, no, they're not fucking with over the bridge and beef and just dumbass shit, man. We're all Tampa Bay, and that's the way I always saw it. I'd go to Tampa to do shows because when I was doing shit back in the day, there wasn't a lot popping in St. Pete, except for maybe Janice and the State Theater, but all the clubs were in Tampa. Yeah. You know what I mean? So everything I did was in Tampa. So how would we beefing with Tampa? You know what I mean? That don't even make sense. But I remember one of the events I went to, you had people from Tampa, you had people from Clearwater, you had people from the Burg, And I mean, it was just love, bro. So much respect to everything, you know, you got going on. And I want to talk more about it. But before we do, I want to dive into, you know, Jotta. You know what I mean? I want to know about the history, the live struggle of Keto Fratwell, man. So however deep you want to go, tell us your story, man.
How do we start this? I mean, yeah, I gotta, you know, introduce myself as Jotta first, because I'm a rapper first. You feel me? Like all this other stuff unfolded because of my passion for the art form of rapping. And it's crazy because I knew of you way before any of this shit. Like when I can still remember your album cover from way back in the day. And it's like, you know, I didn't connect the dots until I seen the shit before. So like indirectly you inspired me, because at that time in my life, like anybody who was really doing like this rap shit in St. Pete was like, I looked at y'all as fucking celebrities. I thought everybody was rich and shit, you know what I'm saying? I used to get my hair cut right next door to Gutter Sounds.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up and shit, and I had went in there before, and it was Creek Dog, right?
Yeah.
Creek Dog.
Yeah.
And watched him mixing and shit, and like those was like early memories for me to like keep this passion going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I started really taking it serious with my boy Lil Keese, you know, God bless the dead, but he ended up producing for a lot of like major artists and stuff. He did a whole mixtape with Starlito. He did stuff with Soulja Boy, Lil B. You know, the list goes on and on. Yeah. But I used to watch him in the room like with a shitty little pair of headphones. You know what I'm saying? He's like, if it sounds good on this, it sounds good on anything. You know what I mean? And his pops took us to our first recording studio. Did my first show with him and all that, you know what I'm saying? And then it just kind of like transcended into more of the street shit, you feel me? Like you get lost along the way, got in trouble, you know, and I wish I could say that was my wake-up call, but it really wasn't. Kept on with that for a while, and then got back into the music again. It always comes back to the music, you feel me? Like, got back into the music real heavy around 2015, I want to say. And, you know, I'm skipping a lot of shit, but we might dive into, you know, separate stories there. Yeah. But got into music again, and then I figured, you know, the only way to really make money off this shit is to make merch, right? So started getting my merch made by somebody else, going to those spots like State Theater and Local 662. Yeah. Was it Fubar?
Yeah.
All those spots that are all now RIP.
You
know
man.
What I'm saying? And getting my merch off, really cultivating the following at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was love. We used to have like name tags. Hello, my name is. Yeah. And then have people pull up. We were sending Ubers to have people come and all that, and putting their name on it with like Bottomville, whatever. Bottomville, we did the brand, you know what I'm saying? Me and my best friend started that. And then along the way somewhere, you feel me, I met a girl and got her pregnant real fast, you know what I'm saying? Which kind of made me like step away from the music for a little bit. You know, you get caught in that whirlwind and it's like nothing else matters. But all the while I'm still doing wrong. I'm still doing shit I'm not supposed to be doing. But she was the one that really said like, you already doing this merch. Like, I'm still selling clothes even though I'm not doing music actively at the time. But she's like, you know, cut out the middleman. Buy some shit. You got the money, just do it. You feel me? So I spent, it ain't important what I spent, but, you know, I copped the embroidery machine. I copped like vinyl and all that. And we had, was running like a little shop out of our guest bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
So you're doing that from the crib?
Yeah,
to start.
Doing it from the crib when I first started. And then I had the opportunity to buy somebody's business, somebody's screen printing business. called that at the time. It was just, you know what I'm saying, a warehouse where we did. And started doing that. But like I said, it always comes back to the music. You feel me? Like the music is what pumps the blood from my heart. You feel me?
Sir.
So I'm like, even before we got the spot, I'm like looking at it like, damn, we can do shows here. Because this is when like Food Bar and all that is starting to close down. You feel me? 662 was already Maple Street Whiskey Company.
Yeah, man, that hurt.
And you know, it wasn't really no space for people to, you know what I'm saying, get their shit off. So I'm looking at it like, yo, the DJ booth could go here. The stage could be right here. You know, we could have people all out in the parking lot. Parking lot's big. You feel me? Inside is big. Throw some lights in there, and you know, we ended up doing that for my dog DJ Donnie Love birthday party. Was the first event we did there, and we just hit the ground running with that shit. Really, like we was doing events for all type of stuff, showcases. We had you come out before.
That was love, bro. Yeah, that was a good time.
And it just we created an environment where local creatives could flourish. And like you said, like we, you know what I'm saying, we linked, we crossed the bridge and all that. And you know, I come up in the same environment, so it's like it wasn't no love for Tampa when I was growing up. You feel me? I can remember being on like the chat line and shit, and,
beefing,
and we talking shit. You feel me? But it's like
y'all grow that silly ass shit, right?
Yeah, and I think it's mostly because of like coming up in the scene. You feel me? Like when I was doing the shows at 662 and Food Bar and the Bends and all these places, like you meet a lot of people from Tampa and all that. And you know, some are cool, some ain't. But
exactly.
It's the same shit with on this side.
Everywhere. Everybody from the Burg ain't sweet.
No, it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely different vibes, but it's like it's all love when you come together and start making some art and shit. And just like it was like almost an out of body to experience that in my own space and like seeing all these things that my team are creating and shit like that. And you know, it was just love, you feel me? Like, the music, it's just, it brings people together.
Yeah, man, it's the universal frequency, right? The universal language. No matter where you're from, you can, Tampa, St. Pete, Tokyo, you know what I mean? Like,
real shit.
So, going into your history a little bit, tell us about the name Jotta.
Jotta. So, when I was younger, and this was like MySpace days, you feel me? You was probably locked up during this shit, but I used to call myself Gata, like Gata.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And my homeboy just pronounced the shit Jotta. You know what I mean? And I used to be at this Chevron doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing all the time. You know what I mean? But homeboys was up there all the time, and my homeboy is just calling me this dumbass name, Jotta boy. And it just stuck. Like everyone else started calling me that shit, and I learned to love it. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just change my name.
That's a good story though, bro. See, that's organic. You know what I mean? It's real, yeah.
It's more original too. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't think I know no Jottas, so.
And I feel like authentic names, you're given. You don't choose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you chose a whole other name and somebody was like, no, that's Jotta.
You need to get some goofball shit.
No, but I fuck with that.
I'm squeaky now.
Yeah. Just on some fluke shit, like out of nowhere, like, yeah, just call me Troy. Like, your name's Bob. What the fuck I'm calling you Troy for?
Another regular ass.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Like, I see people just have midlife crisis. Not even no entertainers. Midlife crisis. 4 years old, all of a sudden, like, you know, my name was such and such. Now call me Jaflefe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So we got the history of Jotta, formerly known as Gata.
Yeah, formerly known as Gata. Damn, that's crazy. I'm going to do a mixtape called that.
Yes, sir. That'll be fire, dog. Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me about Bottomville and how that came to be.
All right, so me and my dog, Stoop Kid or Sideshow Bottom or TJJ Ready, all types of names, you know what I'm saying? We started Bottom, it was just that at first, BOTTEM, and he had went up the road for a while. This was before music or anything, you feel me? We just like...
That was just a click.
You know what I'm saying? And he went up the road and like, it really didn't have no meaning, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to put the acronym together while he was locked up. I'm like, no, this is what it is, you feel me?
Yeah.
Building on togetherness through embracing music.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Building on togetherness through embracing music.
I love that, bro. I'm all about acronyms. I didn't even know that Bottomville was an acronym. I fuck with it even more now. Like, that's what's up.
So some other people that he was fucking with kind of like adopted the moniker a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like that too much. So we I think I said like Bottomville in a freestyle one time. And we kind of like ran with that shit. And then it kind of like condensed itself to BTMVLE. And just like the way that shit looked and all that. So, you know, I was running with this shit and you know, started to do the music under that. That's why when you look me up, it's BTMVLE Jotta, BTMVLE Jotta on all streaming platforms. It's we started doing the merch, you know what I'm saying, BTMVLE across the shirt and all that. So naturally, when we opened up the spot, I just, you know, said it makes the most sense to just call it Bottomville Studios.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me about the connection with Slug.
Okay, so Slug Sounds is like a music clique, you know what I'm saying? Like between me, DJ Donnie Love, and my dog Haley Ross, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we started the Burg Day under, you know what I mean? But we did like the pandemic was so crazy because it was like, you know, everything was shut down, but I lived right around the corner from Bottomville. So it was like that time was the most creative, flourishing time. You know what I'm saying?
For a lot of people.
People didn't really have shit to do.
Yeah.
Like all the homies would just link up there and we're like making music, we're doing rehearsals, we just making videos, you know what I'm saying? Like and even on aside from that, I'm doing merch. I'm just like going crazy with the embroidery machine because I'm just getting out all my ideas and shit, and it was so perfect, you feel me? So Slug Sounds became like a collective where we were doing music under, and we have music on streaming platforms under that too. Slug Sounds, Slug with 2 G's. And that evolved into doing Burg Day. But Burg Day was like an idea that was conceived years before that, you feel me? Like we all used to chill in DJ Donnie Love yard and just talk for hours every single day about all type of shit. But we always like we love our city, you know what I'm saying? Like we're really from this shit.
Yes,
you
sir.
feel me? Like it's always been something that we've took so passionately, you know what I mean? So we always wanted to celebrate the city properly. And that's when we started the Burg Day, which I think our first year was 2021. So it was like right after I opened Bottomville, and our first one was there. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be somewhere else downtown, but like that was our first experience with people in corporate and dealing with all their fuck shit. So
like licensing and insurance.
Yeah,
and all
or
that
just
shit.
like shit on their end. They didn't have it together. So like on a last minute effort, we did it at my spot, and it was love. I'm glad that we did it there because every year from there we just like built up. You know what I'm saying? Like the second year we did it at a distillery called Kazuba and Sons, right like in Midtown, and then the third year we did it at one of my dog's warehouses, but he had the shit fully decked out, you feel me? Like he had all the laser lights and shit. He was all into EDM.
Okay.
So he
Gibbs too, right? That's what's up. So that had to feel good. Like you're in the backyard.
Yeah, like I could see Gibbs from the shit, and me, Haley, and Donnie Love all went to Gibbs. You feel me? So it was just like full circle moment, and Jerry Nova did too. And I mean, it's just like these are people I really grew up with for real. So
Yeah.
it's amazing to not only be able to do this kind of shit with them, but be able to be successful with it and not have no type of fallouts or not have like weird miscommunications and shit like that. It's rare. You know what I'm saying?
And I can vouch for that, bro, because I've only been to like maybe one or two of y'all events. Like I think I went to one, and then I went to the one where I actually did a little set. Well, I did like a freestyle or some shit. But what I remember about that event, man, like I don't even like going out anymore, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you go and it's like you got men standing over here, women standing over there. You know what I mean? Like nobody's dancing. No, people don't dance no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody's like even into the music. It's just like a fashion show and egos and motherfuckers mean mugging and pretending. You know, everything is a facade and you trying to act tough or whatever the flaws and whatever the case may be, right? I didn't feel any of that at your event. I felt love, man. I felt like, you know, I'm used to going to shows and somebody goes on stage, they might be killing it and motherfucking hating in the crowd. You know what I mean? Because they're not on the stage. You know what I mean? Or that's not their partner. You know what I mean? And like when I went to your event, man, it was all love. Like everybody's celebrating whoever's on the stage, and then they come off and say, "Yo, let me get your IG." You know what I mean? Like it was love. It was a true networking event. I didn't feel a bunch of egos. You know what I mean? I felt like these are people coming, and y'all family. You know what I mean? That's what the vibe felt like. And it was just a good time, man. So I look forward to, you know, more of your events. And how many years have y'all done Burg Day now?
This will be our 5th year coming up.
5th, okay.
Yeah, and we're doing it on the Deuces this year.
That's what's up.
It's gonna be love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like I can happily say that we've done shit. I don't even know how many events, but it's got to be over 100 events and no drama ever.
Yes.
And mind you, it's not
That's
just
something to brag about, though, bro.
Yeah, for real. And I know it's people that don't like each other that's been in the same, you know, vicinity and all that type of shit, but it's just never been that. I don't know if it's just like the energy, like let's not even go there, but it's it's been all love, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for that. You know, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been amazing, bro.
That's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man, what else was I gonna ask you, man? So okay, we talked about Bottomville, we talked about Slug Sounds, we talked about Jotta. How'd you link with Cowboy Takeo and Moose in the Burg?
Okay, so they had worked for somebody that I was sharing the space with when I first got the building, and when he departed, they stuck around, and that's when everything kind of like transpired into the creative art studio.
Oh, so they were with the print company that you acquired?
No, they were with. So I shared a space.
Okay.
I shared that space with somebody, and you know, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. But they wanted to stick around, and we went from more of like a production place into full scale creative art studio. You know what I'm saying? Where because they were just like printing shirts and stuff, and doing art and all that. But you know, I wanted to fulfill the vision that I kind of already had, you know what I'm saying? Which was just like full-fledged, you feel me? Like paint on the walls, go crazy with this shit. And let's just get in here and create every single day. Like, let's not even focus so much on like the numbers and shit like that. Let's put the art first.
Yes.
And then everything else will follow. That's at least my belief.
And man, listen, man, you're preaching to the choir right now, like, because I felt that in that space, and that's why Moose and I we connected right away. You know what I mean? With he was showing love on, you know, he threw some T-shirts together for me real quick when I was like down bad and trying to. That's why Lewis had brought me over there with y'all. But that's what I love, man. This creative space. You got, you know, Takeo over there. You know, working on whatever he's working on. Moose over here working on something. You're over there doing something with the embroidery. And then I remember like there was another dude sitting at like a beat machine and like with some headphones on making a beat. It's like, okay, this the kind of energy I want to be around. You know what I mean?
Those are some good days, man. And speaking on like the Tampa link too, like Takeo was such a huge force behind that because he's from Tampa, you know what I'm saying? He already had an established brand in Tampa and is very connected with just about anybody that does anything creative over there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he is low-key the bridge, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, DJ Donnie Love is too, just because she works out that way so much and she just knows all the artists and all that. She would curate the set list and everything whenever we did a show under Slug. Moose is just a fucking mastermind at everything.
And everything, bro. That man, there's nothing that man can't do.
Yeah, he got hella swords in the tuck, man. You know what I'm saying? So and he's so clutch when it comes to like managing events and setting them up and shit. Like I got a whole ass family, so I can't always be there. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely like came through clutch so much, you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for both of them. I look at them as little brothers for real. And you know, I wish them nothing but the most success and try to encourage them every chance I get, you know.
Man, I'll tell you what, bro. Like, I see people spending all this money on these designer whatever that come with whatever kind of weird karma that comes with that stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, weird history there.
Yeah, man. It's like, forget all that, man. If I'm breaking bread, I'm trying to get something custom from either Moose in the Burg or Cowboy to KO, man. Like, I'm trying to go to Bottomville and have some custom shit made.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's my attitude. I actually said something about that in the freestyle I just dropped yesterday.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, we're not trying to hit the scene. We're trying to make the scene. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And so, like, I'm curious to know what y'all really have going on right now. Are you more doing like in-house building your own brands, or are you doing like commissions or?
So, I mean, like I said, we started off like that. Like when I bought this business from the dude, mind you, like they had so many accounts under their belt for like different high schools and shit like that, and like Polk County and all that, but. And I could have followed up on all these leads, but I don't want to be stuck up under that thumb of like, just, you know what I'm saying, pumping out all their shit and having no time for my own creative ways. Yeah. Like I started off doing a lot of commission work for businesses and fucking electricians and all this shit where I'm throwing fucking phone numbers on the back of shirts and all that, and it's just. It feels like work, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and even when you do your passion, of course, you have to put in enough work for it to feel like work too. But when my back is aching and like I'm not looking at something that I'm even willing to just like take a picture of and flex on the fucking gram or whatever, like I have no pride behind that. So it's really transitioned into a personal creative space. I still have a couple like, you know, close people that I do stuff for, but for the most part, we're just focusing on ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And iron sharpening iron with our own creative ways and shit.
So everybody's just kind of building their own unique brand and then helping one another in support of that, of each other's brand.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like for me right now, it's like I gotta always put the rapper first, because I know that it's easy for you to take on all these other things, and then it's like you kind of divert away from why you got into this shit in the first place. And I've done a lot of that, you know what I mean? So right now I'm focusing a lot on that. Like the main things I've been doing at the studio lately is recording videos to put on Instagram of me rapping.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love to come in the studio and Moose is in the other room working on some custom jewelry, and fucking Takeo's over here painting and shit. Like, it's not in the same space that it used to be when you came by, where there's like people coming through all the time and all that. And it's just because life, you feel.
Y'all move? You in a different spot now?
No.
Oh, okay. You mean it's just different kind of energy over there?
Yeah. It's just like we're kind of like ships passing in the night right now, because, you know, fucking life be lifing. They done had to get their own jobs. I've had 2 more kids since the first kid, so it's like it's juggling a lot. But those moments when we meet up, it's just like it was back in the day. You feel me? And I'm trying to get it back to that space. It's just about like time management.
Of course, bro. Look, I mean, I can relate to a lot of the things you're saying. You know, like I only have one child, And when I had my child, you know, everything stopped. Like I was all about my son and his mom. Like that's it. And, you know, I was working, and I was going to school for audio engineering. Like I got a degree for sound engineering. And it's funny because, you know, so there's on that one note, you have a child, and then it's like that becomes a priority. I remember at one point, I had just started this mirror program. I had got a grant, so I didn't have to, you know what I mean? And
I tried that.
And I was about to stop doing it when I had my son, and I talked to my sister. My sister's always been like almost like a parent to me growing up. Like she was always doing all the right things, making all the right decisions, but I was doing all the dumb shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So she was always the one, you know, picking me up from some crazy ass place in the middle of the night I shouldn't have been at, or bonding me out of jail. You know what I mean? Like she's always there. She's my emergency contact. You know what I mean? Like, and so when I had my child. I had my son, or my son's mom, and we had him. I was like, you know what? I got to get another job. I got to stop going to school. You know what I mean? You start thinking about just providing. And I was talking to my sister about that, and she's like, well, don't you think that like the best thing you can do as a father is show your child to like never let go of your dreams? You know what I mean?
Dang, that's real.
And I love my sister so much for that, because I was really like feeling like almost like selfish and fucked up for still trying to pursue music and doing all these things when it's like I have this baby. And it's like, yeah, but music and all those things is really who I am. And I'm empty without it. You know what I mean? So it's like, who the fuck am I if I'm not doing that? What kind of fucking dad am I? You know what I mean? Like I'm living a lie. You know what I mean? And it's like, so through all that and that education that I got through Mira, it's like now we graduated during COVID. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So to graduate, you were supposed to do an internship, right? And I was looking forward to that internship because, you know, I don't care nothing about the degree. I don't care nothing about that piece of paper. I'm a convict, man. They're going to look at my records, or, you know what I mean? They don't give a damn about my accolades. They're going to look at my, you know what I mean? My low points. You know how I go. So anyway, so I didn't give a damn about the piece of paper, but I was really looking forward to that internship because in order to graduate, you had to do X amount of hours in a big studio. So I'm like, yeah, and I'm going to go in here and network. And I had no intentions of being a sound engineer. You know what I mean? Like, I only did that because I was sick of getting played by sound engineers.
So you just wanted to do yourself?
Well, really, I wanted to be able to go into that studio and be like, no, man, you know, get this track right, get this compression right, you know what I mean? Instead of being like, man, can you make the thing go doop to doop to doop? You know what I mean? Like, it's like I want to be able to, you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
Very relatable.
Yeah, so like, I did that for that, and it really did serve that purpose, especially like with file organization and just like studio workflow. Referencing, you know what I mean? And so I could mix a little bit, but I don't release my mixes. I do like bedroom mixes and I take it to somebody else. But I'm telling you all that to say, like, because of COVID, all the studios were closed, so they didn't do the internship. And they're like, don't worry, we waived the internship. You're gonna graduate. I don't give a damn about graduating. I want the internship. Yeah. You know what I mean? So this one lady
waived the internship.
Yeah. So this one lady, she used to be a radio personality before 94.1 was Wild 98.7. Back in the day, it was smooth jazz 94.1. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there was this lady.
Was it WSJT? Was that
something it? Like that? No, that's you know what? That's from the some movie, Will Ferrell movie. But no. Anyway, so like. At the program, this lady, her name was Alicia Katz. Shout out Alicia Katz. She was a voice actor, and she got into voice acting because she was this radio personality for years, and radio's kind of dead now. So she had to figure something out. So she just started doing voice acting. And when I was in the Mirror program, they would have special events, and she came in and she started talking about how she does voice acting. What's that?
Is that Delilah?
It's not Delilah. I know you're talking.
She got that voice,
bro. When I was up the road, I used to take me through some hard times, bro. Late night.
You was rubbing with
that. Damn near. Yes. Yes, like Quiet Storm type shit. Yeah. But anyway, I started to pursue voice acting, but man, it was no fun at all for me. Like I'm not like they were like, the way to get in, you got to do Audible and read for fucking 7 hours and make $15 an hour. It's like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, I guess I'm doing something with my voice and I don't want, but it's like I'm reading a book that I have no interest in. You know what I mean? And so it's like, to your point, it just felt like work. Like I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? And so like that's the beauty of podcasting, because it's like I can use my voice on my platform doing what I want to do, talking about what I want to talk about. Yeah. You know what I mean? We might not be getting paid yet. You know what I mean? But we're doing it on our terms. We're putting the art first. You know what I'm saying? So like I can relate to a lot of what you're saying, bro. But what you got going on now, man, that you're actively promoting in terms of music, design, fashion. Yeah, talk to the people, man. Promote.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've been in a beautiful space lately. Like, I've gotten linked up with a lot of producers in the Tampa Bay area, which opened up a whole new, like, Pandora's box for me. Like, it's one thing when you go to shows and you're like performing for a bunch of rappers, you know what I'm saying? But everybody like low key wants the top spot. So it's not like the love is there, but it's just like, it's more of a competitive edge. You feel me? Yeah. Like, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? When you're an artist, you're focused on you first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a grind. But when you perform for producers, like, and they see that you're raw, bro, it's like, it just opens up so many more possibilities. You feel me? Like yeah. I was so used to like ripping beats off of YouTube and shit like that, and now I would never, like I would not dare. You know what I'm saying? So I got linked up with a producer named Beaumont, who's out of St. Pete too, and we've been working for a couple of years now. But through him, I did a showcase for another creative named Natsu, who is just like a fucking mastermind at what he does visually and with music and producing. He's just an all around great creative, you feel me? And I did a showcase for him, and most of the audience was producers there. You know what I'm saying? So through that, like, so many people wanted to work with me. Yeah. And because of that, I've been, working with them. So we did the thing like I've been doing with Beaumont, and that's the main shit that I'm trying to get out, which is Good Fortune Buffet.
Okay. So that's the project you got coming.
Yeah.
And this is under Jotta.
Yeah.
So Jotta on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, so it's BTMVLE Jotta. I spelled it earlier. I'm not gonna go through that again.
You good?
I've been trying to drop that shit from there because it's like it's hard to convey that to an audience when you're performing. Like BTMVLE Jotta, look it up. I'm looking at my shit and I don't got no follows or whatever. But I've been working on that. That's the main project I'm trying to get out right now. But I also work with a producer named Nux out of Tampa, and I met him at one of those first events that we threw because we like to do producer sets too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Tampa Bay, bro, is like it's such a melting pot for producers. Like I feel like Tampa especially has a lot of up north influence. Like I think a lot of New Yorkers moved here.
Yeah.
So the beats are just all over the place and great, bro. Like that, and I feel like that's my style in a way. Like I love being from the South. I love, that style, but I also like being lyrical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you say style, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but can you give some examples?
3-6 Mafia,
okay.
UGK,
okay.
Trick Daddy. I mean Florida in general, like I go down the list of people that really inspire me coming up, and that's like Trick Daddy, Plies, Frank Lenny, Blood Raw,
okay,
Kodak, of course, and I'm sure there's people I'm missing, but it's just like I don't think we've really had like a lyrical representation.
Yeah, in the Burg, yeah. Yeah.
Not to say that people haven't done it, but people haven't really popped. So
exactly. I know that. Like I know plenty of lyrical people, but their songs ain't even made it to Spotify.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just like there's that Florida stigma, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love the Florida music, but I love every region. You feel me? Like I love West Coast fucking vibes. I love up north, the way, you know, old up north shit when they was really spitting. So I try to embody all that shit. You feel me? Like that's what I would say my style is. You know what I'm saying? I'm a student of the game.
Yes, sir.
In all areas. Like I've studied this art form from the jump. Like I've really put my all into this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say I gotta put it first, because that's what I've invested the most into. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love. That's my therapy. But anyways, to get back on the shit, I dropped a single with Nux last year called Medicine Man. That shit did really good streaming. I'm working with a dude, Spanatola, over on this side. I'm working with a bunch of people, man. It's like to the point now where I feel bad for not being able to keep up with all this shit.
Yeah, man, I know that feeling.
But I'm also somebody that's gotta like live to rap. You know what I mean? I can't just go in there and rap about some bullshit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
got to be real.
So
It's got to be content. Yeah.
And it's kind of hard now because it's like, damn, I'm on some family man shit for real. So I gotta either go out and live some shit or just tap into you know, the struggle of the past. But sometimes you don't want to go there.
You made me think of, you know how Andre 3000 dropped the Flute album?
Yeah.
And everybody, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of salty about that. I'm just gonna be real, because I have been a huge fan of Andre 3000, like one of my favorite rappers of all time. And so, like and it's funny because my dog got me good. I didn't even know he was dropping a Flute album. And my dog sends it to me. He's like, yo, these bars, bro. So I'm listening and I'm waiting for it to change. I'm waiting for the shit to get funky. Like I'm waiting, and it's like, the fuck is this? Sound like somebody playing a recorder. I mean, and I'm not trying to disrespect, dude. I believe in creative freedom. Be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. But when they called him out, they were like, you know, what's up, man? Like, why you gonna just drop bars? He's like, what am I gonna rap about? My colonoscopy? You know what I mean? Like, because now you like pushing me like 50. You know what I mean? Everything starts to change. Life starts to change. You know, it's like, I'll rap about a motherfucking colonoscopy. Like, if that's what we're... My thing is this.
I bet he could make it sound good. Pause. You feel me?
Yeah.
But, you know, I would think you'd be into that shit. But the way he did you was dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, saying that. I knew it was coming. And he was being very upfront about not having no rap on it.
Yeah.
But, you know, once you get beyond that, I was listening to it for a few days just to be, like, calm and shit. I know you do yoga and all that
Yeah.
I feel like if you go back to it with that type of mindset.
I actually did. So then, like, I was like, but I'm not gonna lie, like, I listened to it like one time, and I did yoga. I did yoga while I listened to it. Like, it's not fitting the vibe that I was like looking for initially. But then I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna listen to it while I run through these sequences. You know what I mean? These asanas. You know what I mean? And it fit, but I never revisited it. I wasn't that wild about it. I heard Lupe put some bars. Lupe Fiasco put some bars on one of them joints, I started to do something to it. I wasn't really feeling Lupe's verse, just to be real. Like, I don't know Lupe hater. I'm actually a fan of Lupe.
Yeah,
but
you know.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know. I don't like when people get too political and shit and start trying to, like,
you
know what I mean? And I feel like
he's a hater too, and I don't really like supporting haters. Like,
my point exactly. Like, I'm trying to be diplomatic and shit. You know what I mean? But I heard him spit on that, and I mean, Lupe got crazy bars. But like, I was like, man, I don't really like what he did. I want to do something my way. It never came to light. Like, you talk about all these different things that you got going on,
and that's like just to revisit that. It's like there's a balance to this shit. You feel me? So I think part of what I'm trying to say with like the Southern with influences from all over is like, I want to be lyrical, but I don't want to be on no lyrical miracle shit.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I still want it to bounce. I still want you to be like, oh shit, but not be like trying to like dissect the shit all extra hard.
Having to pull out encyclopedias and shit, cross referencing.
Yeah, like I'm not on that. I'm just trying to be witty. I'm trying to Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give you that vibe, but still give you something thought-provoking. Like this project I got coming up with Beaumont, like I said, you gotta kind of live, but with music, it's like a spell, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see people rap about depression and shit or rap about the street shit too much, you see them kind of get engulfed in that.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why you see Kid Cudi and all these other, I mean, I hate to say Rod Wave, but, you know, praise the GOAT. But it's like that depression, it keeps you in there. Like, it's a frequency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and a low frequency.
Yeah, a low frequency. So with this project, I'm trying to be like, I'm damn near trying to paint the life that I want. You know
I love that. Yeah.
I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to kick some fly shit.
You manifesting with your music.
I got to bring up, you know, aspects of my life that carved me into the man I am. But at the same time, it's like, how do you take those experiences and move forward?
Yeah.
In a positive way and get everything that you ever wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So something I wanted to ask you earlier, because I love that you're talking about putting positive spins on things, like positive affirmation, manifesting through your creative process, right? But something I wanted to ask you when you were talking about how life's lifing and how, you know, when you started to have a family, you kind of put all the passion projects on the back burner. And so, and then life is still life, right? Everything's happening. You don't know what's going to happen when, right? And, you know, John Lennon had a quote, and he said, "This is actually in the birthing center wall." That's how I know this quote. I went to a birthing center. I got natural birth. What's that?
The one on Omerton?
That's actually where I had my son. Yeah,
okay.
But there's another one that I looked at. It was at a house in St. Pete. You're talking about Breath of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to go there.
Yeah, that's where we had my son. Yeah. So all natural birth. They got the hot tubs. They got the swings.
Yeah, I seen the tour and all that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far off what you were trying to
say.
Yeah,
but so anyway, damn, you threw me off with the
life be life and
yeah. So on the birth it said life is what happens when you're planning other things.
Yeah, I heard that the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, and they said it was from John Lennon.
Yeah, John Lennon.
I need to remember that. Say it again.
Life is what happens when you're planning other things.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I never expected to be a dad. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I'm a dad, and it's the most. I don't have to tell you, you're a dad. You know, the most incredible experience of my life. Like I could never see myself not a dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But on that note, you know, you got back at it, and you know we have ups and downs, and so what I want to know about you is like, what's your secret when things are tough? Like when you want to throw in the towel, or when maybe other people are telling you need to throw in the towel. Like what keeps you going? What makes you you know make compromises or sacrifices or whatever you want to call it to keep going after it?
First and foremost, I have a very good support system. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife is all for whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And will even get on my ass sometimes and be like, why aren't you taking more trips? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't you like going places with the intention of like furthering your music? You know what I'm saying? That, and not to say I don't go through depression waves, because I do, just like anybody else, but I've always been very determined. Like I always had a feeling that I was just meant for some special shit, whatever that may be. But what I gravitated towards the most was the music. And like I said, it's like therapy. So anytime I'm going through things, it's like I run to that. So it makes sense to just try to push it as far as I can go.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I go through shit like anybody else, and I just got to bounce back. You know, I think this is the most focused I've ever been, though.
Yes, sir.
To be honest.
Yes.
Like I said, I've gone through those hiatuses, and it made sense at the time. But when all the other stuff fades, like the feeling of whatever I'm going through at that moment, I want to run back to the music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. So basically, if I get you right, like you had to go back to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that the music is what pulled you through all the shit. It wasn't like you were you know. The music was the therapy. The music was the silver lining through all the lifing, right? Yeah, and I can relate to that because I'll be honest with you, man. Like when COVID hit, right? So I told you when I was in my family unit, there wasn't no MP. It was the family unit. You know what I mean? And I just went to school, came back, family unit. Yeah, I'm going to school for music, but I'm not active. I'm mixing school projects, and I had some projects I was working on mixing them, but just all in the background. Like you said, like like a boat? Would you say that was that metaphor you dropped on me earlier?
What, passing ship?
Like a passing ship. Yeah. The ship passing through at night, right? That's kind of where I was at when I was in that program. But, the shit hit the fan for me when COVID hit, because my son's mom and I had this big blowout. You know what I mean? She took my son, and I'm not trying to air out, we're cool, but it wasn't cool in the moment. You know what I mean? And I was down by, I've been with my son every single day since the day he was born, and then all of a sudden I don't have him. You know what I mean? Like feeling powerless, feeling fucked up, and I had just lost my job because, COVID, gyms closed. I was working in the gym, you know what I mean? And like they closed them all down, and it looks like the world's going to end. You know what I'm saying? Like the virus, the this, the that, you know what I mean? And I'm doing unhealthy things, but I'll tell you the one thing that saved my life. Live struggle, legacy. That's when I was pulling up on y'all.
It's beautiful to see you still pushing it, because like I said, it's been 5 years probably since I met you, and you had the same logo and was pushing the same thing, but I think you just didn't really have like a fully drawn out vision to where it was going to go. And with all these like podcasts and things popping up, I feel like this is the perfect platform for you to get your shit off.
I appreciate that, bro. Well, so the thing about it is I did, but I was like too big for my britches. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dreamer. You know what I mean? And then I get lost in the steps. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm doing now, is I'm learning too. And I honestly, look, I got this blueprint from the Russell. It's like, man, if you can't just pull out a Kyocera cheap-ass smartphone and make a quick video and post it, if you can't do that, what are you even doing it for? You don't got to wait for the $10,000, Nokia or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
that's real. I heard you talking about that on the podcast with Shawty.
Yeah, T taught me that way back in the day, bro. Like that was his mantra. And now he has all the gear, but back in the day he had like bare minimum what he could do, and he would always be like, "Listen, man, it ain't what you got, it's what you know." Yeah, you know what I mean.
And I'm getting to that point now. Like I always thought the same shit. Like it needs to be crisp video quality.
Yeah.
I need to be dropping hella cheese on this shit. And now I'm getting to the point where I can just fucking put the iPod on the tripod. iPod on the iPhone.
Yeah, but no, I knew exactly.
I'm a rapper, bro.
Yes, sir. Your bars.
and just, get my video editing together, my mediocre amateur video editing together, and still make it look good. Like these kids are showing you that you can do whatever by yourself.
Exactly.
I got a homie that's in a work camp right now. KO, he's a rapper too, and he been posting shit. Like he just got a phone because he just got sent to the work camp. And
KO, is that the dude that got the video that he remixed the Fast Car video to Tracy Chapman? He got the dome and all that in it.
And, well, the main video I remember is like he's on the Skyway.
Okay.
Shit. But it might be him.
He got dreads?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he been on fucking Band Labs on his phone, making songs and putting them out and shit on his Instagram, and they sound good.
From Band Lab, and all you got is the phone. Yeah, like there's no excuse right now.
Yeah.
It's never been a better time to be a creative, bro.
Yeah.
Never. Like this is an incredible time.
It is, bro. And you just you got to put in extra work as an artist, and I think a lot of artists like me, I'm resistant to change, or I'm slow to it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like some of the shit that I'm doing now, I wish I was doing way back then. But like I said, I was like, oh, the shit got to be crisp and all that shit. It got to be done by my brother. My brother is Clay Frappo. He's like one of the best fucking videographers, photographers I've ever seen. But he's busy. He's doing this shit. I can't be bothering him all the time to be working on my dream when I can be working on my own dream. It's not that deep sometimes. And like the way shit is formatted now, and the way the youth and just everybody now is receiving content and information, you have to get out there and put out some short content. You got to get people's attention. You got to keep the momentum going. You got to be in their face as much as you can, and it requires a lot of work. But like I was saying earlier, when you're doing some shit you love, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not supposed to feel like work after a while, because you got to bust your ass to make anything shake.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like, it's a beautiful landscape we're in.
Yes,
you gotta look at it with the silver lining.
Yeah, well, man, because like you see a lot of people, and I can't stand, like, I'm the kind of person, bro. When you start talking negative and you start trying to poke holes in myself, I gotta get away from you, man. I gotta keep it moving. I mean, no love lost, but I gotta protect my energy. You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm saying that to say, like, people will say, well, don't do a podcast. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody got a podcast. Oh, you don't get in the studio. Everybody got a studio. Don't be a rapper. Everybody a rapper. You know what I mean? And it's like, speak for your motherfucking self. What are you doing? Like,
because what are you bringing new to the table?
Yes.
What perspective, what flavor are you bringing that's not there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch a bunch of podcasts and I watch a few local podcasts, and I love the local podcasts. I love to support local people. You know what I'm saying? You got a great energy. You feel me?
I appreciate
You're
that.
charismatic. You know how to speak. It's
likewise.
It would be a disservice to not support you.
That's love. That's love.
Yeah, so I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard that same shit. Everybody got a podcast. Everyone want to be a rapper. But are they doing it like this though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, podcasts are different because it's supposed to be something that's flowing and shit. Like, it's just something that naturally occurs. But there is the competitive edge to it. You still want to be the best. You
You want to be getting better.
You feel me? And it seems like you're on top of the ball. You got fucking guests lined up for weeks and shit. Like, you reached out a long time ago, and you're doing your shit. You're staying consistent with it. So yeah, just give you your flowers on that.
Man, that's
love to
bro.
see it, bro.
That's love. Well, and even with this, like, everybody's trying to tell me how to do this, right? And I'm super receptive to feedback. But if you haven't done a podcast and you're not in that, realm, how you gonna tell me how to do mine? And now I did have a guest on the show previously, and he has a pretty successful podcast. I'm all ears, like, I'm not soak it up, like, what you got from me, But like one of the homies, and he's a homie, like, no love lost, but he's like, man, you just over there interviewing these people. Nobody want to see. Nobody knows these people. He's like, man, you need to get celebrities on here. You get it. Yeah, exactly. I don't give a damn about the celebrities. Why? So they can talk about all the money they got and I don't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they can tell my audience how they're taking trips on jets and we're all sitting there watching you like eating motherfucking ramen noodles and shit. Like,
and the crazy thing is, it's like he's thinking so in the now that he's not thinking about, you may have an exclusive interview with somebody when they become a celebrity.
Well, that's the whole thing, bro. And honestly, bro, I'm not interested in the stories of the people that already made it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I could go read that.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly. I'm trying to bring in the underdogs, or really and truly what this podcast is all about. It's all about my big homie Tim, who lost his life in prison. And he was a creative, right? And he had all these dreams to do and he'll never be able to do that now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I'm piggybacking off what he was building, but expounding on it. And so now it's like the goal is to inspire and uplift. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm bringing people on the show who have been through adversity, have been life, and then they stuck with it. Yeah. And so I want to share those stories. I want to share the stories that are lifting people up. I can't tell you how many people, when I first came home from prison, they're like, man, you need to make a prison podcast. And then they send me these links of these dudes, and that's all they're telling us, war stories. And it's like, I got plenty of those. But I'm not trying to do life in prison, man. Like, I'm not trying to be out here talking about prison every day.
Like, it's a niche, but it's also like a negative thing. You feel me?
That's exactly right.
I done been like consumed in that content for a while, and then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why do I want to hear so many prison stories and shit? Like, I don't want to be in this life. So it's just fascinating, you know what I'm saying? But I think what you're doing is more of a service to the people.
That's love, bro, because that's what I'm trying to do, man, because I do share those stories, but when I share those stories, I'm trying to show you, like, why to stay out the street. I'm trying to teach these younger people out here, or whoever out there going through it, like, listen, man, these are pitfalls. Yeah. Like, if you can learn from me and it'll save you a lot of time, energy, and blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and I will say I do like that approach better from prison podcasts. It's like not glorifying it, but kind of like showing you the reality of this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you come from that life, you just naturally want to hear about it. But nostalgia can be a fucking dangerous thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you can tap into that lower vibration and just be, and like I was saying about the music too, it's like sometimes I hear some of this fucking like shoot 'em up bang bang shit and it's like a high almost, you know what I'm saying? Like this, just thinking back to doing wrong and fucking, and it's not good, bro.
I know, bro. And there's more to that. Like that's a whole nother podcast. But the energy, the vibration, the contagion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Planting seeds.
So that's why, like, I'm kind of grateful that I never popped when I was in my 20s and shit like that.
Because you're on that.
I was more focused on that, and
Same.
that was like the type of shit that I was bringing to the forefront music wise. And now I can speak on it from like a grown man perspective, and I think there's more of a lane for that now. Like the internet has done a bunch of horrible shit when it comes to the rap game, but one of the positive things is like you're starting to see older people like actually make waves now, you know what I'm saying? And people that are spreading game and fucking, there's more subgenres of rap now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not all about gangster shit all the time. And
you know who one of my favorites of the OGs is? He's not a rapper, but he's in the hip hop world. Is Wallow. You ever watch Wallow?
Yeah.
I fuck with $1 billion with the game. You know what I mean? That's a great party. They kind of lose me with all the ads sometimes. And I know they got to pay their bills.
That's a lot of podcasts now. But I see you trying to get some ads.
Well, yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, that's the only way. You know what I mean? So, so we're gonna get there. If you're watching, you want us to, you know what I mean, promote your business. Holla at me. Yeah, man. So I want to know more about what you got going on, bro. In terms of so you got the project coming out with the one homie. My bad, bro. Bo Monk. How do you spell that?
Baux, like almost like the Creole spelling.
Yeah.
And then Monk, like
MONK.
Like
so like 2 words. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, but it's all one word.
Okay, Bo Monk.
But dude is amazing, bro. And that's the other thing about working with producers one-on-one is like they'll, as opposed to going on YouTube and you just know what type of type beat you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But him especially, his style is so different that it challenged me as a rapper, you know what I'm saying? And just brought out different emotions in me and different flows and shit like that.
That's the beauty of getting with different producers.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand and not stand.
Exactly. And that's why I said like Tampa Bay is such a beautiful melting pot, because there is those influences. Like I can fuck with my dog Nux over here and he'll give me a straight New York nasty boom bap shit, and in the same pack there'll be like that southern bounce banging 808s and shit that I love too, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, as an artist, I don't ever want to be put in a box.
Yeah.
And because they're shooting me these beats and it's invoking all these different emotions in me and shit, it's like it's bringing out different subject matter that I wouldn't have even thought to rap about in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a beautiful thing. That's the main focus right now, but I've really taken a lot of game from people like La Russell, like you said, the dude Russ, just these people that really get online and preach that independent grind and the direct-to-consumer grind. And I've been stacking up music for years now. And I'm just, 2025 is the year where I'm just trying to drop. So I got hella singles. I've collabed with people. I've got multiple projects in the works. That's the main focus, is Good Fortune Buffet. I really think that's gonna, I know that shit is gonna take things to a whole nother plateau. And until we drop that, I'm dropping. Like the last couple weeks, I dropped a Poppin' My Collar freestyle yesterday. Like I said, I've been setting up the tripod at my studio and fucking just, making videos about it. I did a G-Unit Smile freestyle a couple weeks before that.
Yeah,
I'm tapping back into like the early 2000s because I'm seeing these new dudes are coming around and like sampling that shit. You feel me? So people are loving that nostalgia right now. I'm trying to keep my foot on their necks, bro.
Yes, sir. So the Beaumont album not out yet, but that's what's coming.
Yeah.
But what do you got out right now that you want the people to check out?
I got a lot of shit on streaming.
Okay.
Really.
And we just find you at Bottomville.
Yeah, BTMVLE Jotta, Jotta. That's all streaming networks and YouTube and all that shit. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff out already. you can check the back catalog for now and just know that a lot more is coming.
What about like where can people? You got merch people can pick up. Like anybody that's watching this and wants to, fuck with you, either network or we cop some merch or stream your music. Or
yeah, like I said, the merch has always been connected to the music. So I don't really have anything out right now. I'm rocking a Burg Day shirt right now, but I don't have anything out right now. I really like merch. Merch is something that I fell in love with because of the music. Yeah. So it's not something that I actively pursue. I was at one time, but that was because I had like embroidery machines running all that shit. That took a shit, and a new machine is like a new car.
Yeah.
So, I've had to fall back a little bit from that, but I'm not so mad at it because I'm more focused on the music. So when I do drop Good Fortune Buffet, that's going to be, there's going to be a whole capsule of shit. You feel me? Yeah. From accessories to merchandise and vinyls and all that shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I gotta reiterate that I gotta take it back to the music because you'll get sidetracked on other shit, and that's my main passion.
That's what's up. Okay, so they can find you at BTMVLE Jotta, any streaming platform, right?
Yep.
YouTube channel?
Yep, same thing.
Okay, BTMVLE Jotta.
Well, I think I changed it to Jotta Boy 727.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So drop all the socials. Anything you want, like whatever, wherever they can find you.
So yeah, the socials, Instagram is Jotta Boy 727. I'm low key trying to get that shit on my fucking music, but it's so difficult to go through that process of changing your name and shit. I might just have to stick with it until a fucking major label comes through and is like, yeah, we can do this, no problem.
Yeah.
But as far as streaming platforms, the BTMVLE Jotta.
Okay.
But Instagram, that's really my only social platform. I can't get jiggy with all the other shit.
And what is it? 727 on IG?
Jotta Boy 727.
Jotta Boy 727.
Yeah.
Okay. So just JOTTABOY 727. Okay. Yeah, that's easy to remember. Mm-hmm. Okay. Jotta Boy 727. Yeah. Oh, so anything else you want to promote that you got active right now and you want to tell the people about?
I'm actively working.
Yes.
You feel me? Just tap in with my Instagram and let's go on this journey together because I got a lot coming. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I'm just excited, man. Just walk on this journey with me. You feel me? I don't really got nothing out right now. Yeah.
So, these people, they've been watching us for at least an hour now, right? And so if they've been rocking with us this long, I know they fuck with us, right?
Yeah.
So they were listening, and I'm pretty sure they're interested in what you have to say. So and I know you got some game, you got some jewels. Anything you want to put on these people right now in terms of just closing remarks, words of wisdom, any advice for anybody going for something out there?
Yeah. Be focus driven in whatever you're doing and move with purpose and eliminate anything that's distracting you from that. Like that's a big part of what I'm trying to do right now. Like social media is such a distraction, but if you get on there and you use it as a tool and not a toy, then it can push you so much further than if you're just scrolling around. And just focus in, hone in, put that heat seeker on whatever it is that you want. Like I'm speaking mostly to creatives because that's who I want to touch, metaphorically. You know what I mean? But hone in on what it is that you love. Package yourself as a brand and push that shit. Use social media as a tool, man. It's there for that.
It's a tool, not a toy. You heard the man.
Don't get all wrapped up in the bitches shaking ass and all that other shit. People making little food and
yeah, it's an energy vacuum, bro.
Yeah.
If you're not self-aware, it'll suck all your energy away. It will, literally.
Yeah, but if you figure out how to hone it, and that applies to real life too.
Yeah.
like I'm hearing a lot of people talk about getting to the grassroots of this shit with marketing and guerrilla marketing and getting into people's face. Like if you live life on the internet all the time, you're not gonna know how to operate outside of that shit. I'm so blessed to say that I was coming up on the cusp of all that shit, where it's like you still had to communicate with people, but some of these kids out here are using ChatGPT to fucking talk to girls, bro. So how do you think it's gonna be when you try to get out there and perform for people and all that? Like you gotta you
fabricated. You're not even real. Everything is you AI.
Yeah, bro, and that's where we're going fast. So let's use technology as a tool as it was initially intended to be, and never forget that you got to be out there and get with the people, man.
Yeah.
Get with the people for sure.
Network, rub shoulders.
Like we getting with you over the camera, but we, you know what I'm saying, we in person doing this.
That's right. We out here.
So we can give you this good game.
That's right.
For real.
Man, y'all the boy 727.
Yes, sir.
Bottomville.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show, bro. Hey, listen, bro. It's love, dog. I really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
And, man, make sure y'all check them out. Jotta Boy 727, Bottomville Jotta on all streaming platforms. Yeah. Don't forget to be on the lookout for Burg Day. And if you
every 727.
That's right, 727. And
if
you watch it internationally or even domestically and you don't know what the Burg is, we're in St. Petersburg, Florida, 727, baby.
Yeah, and we got such a beautiful thing. Let me just say that, man. Like it's easy to carry on creatively because there's so much of an iron sharpen iron situation. It's so many people out here doing great creative things in our city and beyond in Tampa. Like Tampa Bay is a hub, bro. Like if you can't see Doechii and Rod Wave just soaring and becoming superstars, and then see everybody working around you and everyone's doing this shit. Like again, use social media as a tool. Watch other people that are creatives and watch how they work and just be inspired off that. Like it's amazing. I'm so glad to be a part of it for sure.
Man, I appreciate everything you brought on the show today, bro. So I hope y'all soaking in this game. You might want to rewind some of this, take some notes. You know what I mean? Like social media is a tool, not a toy.
Yes,
I appreciate y'all checking in, man. It's the Live Struggle Legacy Podcast. Jotta Boy 727, Bottomville Jotta. It's Live Struggle Legacy. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the notification button. Drop a comment. If you are looking to promote your business, holler at me, man. We're looking for sponsors. It's Live Struggle Legacy. We building pyramids.
Yes, sir.
Live struggle legacy. It's a whole movement.